All right, guys, today's video is a must watch. You guys are going to love it. I bring Coach Pixley and I bring Cajun Jr. on, and we dive into Bleacher Report's top 100 NBA all-time list. It's a visual image, right? You've got to identify the players. They don't even list their names. You just got to know your stuff to even be able to look at this and kind of pick it apart. Well, we're going to pick it apart today. You're going to get 70 minutes. Kobe ranked 11th. Jordan ranked who knows where. We're going to talk about LeBron. We're going to talk about Jordan. We're going to see why Wilt Chamberlain is ranked number 9 on their list. We're going to give you our choices for the most overranked and the most underranked. Some guys that should have been in the top 100 that weren't, and some guys they included in the top 100 that should not be in the top 200. There's some crazy, crazy stuff going on. We're also going to look at some comparisons of players in the same position who might be ranked 50th and 90th and ask the question, why in the hell is this? I bring up the data to prove why this Bleacher Report top 100 is wrong and how many different ways they got it wrong. Don't worry, we're going to fix the list for them, and you guys can come along for the ride for about 70 minutes. If you're thinking about putting this on while you get on the treadmill, be ready. You're going to burn some calories. We got about 70 minutes of nothing but NBA all-time great talk. Enjoy the video, guys. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done it on the Cajun Cardboard channel. I need you guys along for the ride. Thanks, guys.
See why Card Ladder is the industry leader in sports card data. We know what you want because Card Ladder was created by collectors for collectors. Card Ladder. Join the innovators, not the imitators.
We can talk about this on the channel. Hey guys, Bryant with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana. And today we're talking about Bleacher Report's top 100 list that came out. Here's just a quick look at it. We're about to go through this thing. We might have to break this thing up into 2 videos, guys. But I thought we were going to need some extra content, but I don't think we do. I got Cajun Jr., and then I've got Coach Pixley as usual. What are y'all up to? Cameron just broke a 48-hour fast. So he looks anorexic, emaciated, helpless. We're going to take advantage of him on today's video. What's up?
Well, he looks a little scrawny right now.
Gaunt.
Right?
Gaunt is the word.
That was the goal.
So I guess the issue is we just push him around in the post.
Yeah.
So
That would have happened anyway.
Jonathan, at what
well,
age?
we know we wouldn't have done is going by you. We wouldn't go by you.
That's true.
No, we would not go by you. Jonathan, at what age do you remember preferring, like here's the deal, okay? Look, all of us come to this point. If you're in your 20s and you think you're good at basketball, even if you're in your early to maybe early-ish 30s and you're super athletic and you think you're good at basketball right now, Jonathan, there comes a time where when you catch a ball in pickup on the wing,
yeah,
and you're facing up, you're jab stepping, whatever, you consciously decide, you know what I would rather do? Instead of blowing by this guy to my right and trying to beat him to the rim, I would rather take one dribble and then turn around and post up and gradually get from 17 feet to 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
What age did that happen for you where you preferred that rather than trying to get by somebody? Because it happens to everyone. It happens to NBA players. We see it every day. What age was that?
I'm going to say it's somewhere in my mid-30s. I was
going to say, yeah, 35, 36. Yeah.
And the other part was,
the
reason was that's about the time when all of your vertical ability goes away, right? Yeah. Especially if you're not really playing anymore, like training to play.
Yeah.
And so I remember thinking it got to a point where it's like, okay, I could probably go by him, but then I've got to jump whenever I get into the paint
and land.
And I don't want to do that. Yeah, that's not fun anymore, right?
Yeah. Our vertical, the human being's vertical athleticism goes a few years before our horizontal athleticism.
Yeah.
But then at some point it all goes, and thank God, you weighed, you were probably always playing in your 30s, probably at 215, 220.
Yeah.
I was playing at, 190. But even I was like, God, 4 years ago, I'd have just blown by this dude straight to my right. No moves, no nothing, just jab step, go, but now I feel like turning my butt to him and, backing him down and shooting, maybe doing a little shimmy, getting to work in the post. It doesn't hurt as much. So it sucks. It's a horrible awakening. All right, let's not waste any more. Cam, you don't know what's coming, but it's coming, baby. It's coming.
No, I had it last year.
Yeah.
I'm getting back into it though.
I know you started.
Mine hit about 10 years too early. But
Cameron, listen.
I'm trying to play more regularly though. So
all right, look. Here's the deal. Stay with me, viewers. We're going to get to the topic, I promise. But here's the deal, Jonathan. I want you to know, Cameron. I'm going to confess on his behalf. So there's church league basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like church basketball. Like you show up and it's like just a bunch of guys. Maybe you'll pray at halftime or after like a game or two, or they'll try to bring you into their cult or whatever. So
all the other guys look the same, by the way.
Yes, they all look the same. There might be a guy wearing sweatpants and playing in sweatpants. Maybe there's a guy playing in a collared shirt. Maybe he just got back from Bible study. So there's levels to church league basketball. I want the world to be aware of this. You got your Catholic leagues, right? Where maybe it's just a bunch of guys in the Catholic church. Those guys can hoop a little bit. Cameron has sought out some type of like off the radar religion. And he's taking advantage and dominating these people. They're not even on like Catholic or Baptist basketball.
No,
these are like, it's like, I've never even heard of this stuff. It's even below Pentecostal. So I don't know what's going on, but he's killing people.
What do they wear? What do these people wear?
I'm playing at a Baptist church. I have played at a it's either Presbyterian or Pentecostal where you had to wear pants. I played.
So the question I have for you is: is it carpet?
No.
Okay.
One of them was carpet though.
I knew it.
Not the one. Not where I play at now.
That's you want to know why I know that?
Like cafeteria tile.
The Baptist church that I attended whenever I was a kid was a carpet gym.
Yeah. Confessions of a church league basketball player.
And I have to say, I'm also not dominating.
Hey, taking advantage of God's children on the hardwood. That will be the name of Cameron's book if he released a book.
Or on the carpet. Because that carpeted gym, I'm telling you, dude, I think the length of the court was like 50 feet. Like you get a rebound, you take one bounce, and you're in range.
That sounds like my kind of basketball court.
So
right
bad,
now.
A kid. Last week was really bad because I'm just an invite.
Yeah.
So I don't go to that church, but one of the some guy, we get like 12 confirmed, and then that means someone brings an extra 4. And the extra 4 was brought by like the pastor guy, and it was people who have never played basketball before.
Yeah, there's an 11-year-old kid who's pretty good at baseball, trying to play basketball. Then you might, I mean, I hate to say it, but there might be a girl that shows up that's like really good for her high school team, trying to play with guys in their 20s that used to play
how bad.
basketball.
A kid, we played one game. I took 2 shots, made 1. After the game, the kid asked, "Hey, Cam, do you play?" I was like, "Yeah, like I play basketball." Like he's so bad. Yeah. He had to ask people if they played basketball because why else would he be there? Like why would he walk
in? When you walk in this gym, is it very noticeable? Like when you walk in, people are like, "Oh, that guy's different." Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, because I don't think they know. It's like you know when you play somebody,
they don't know
how to play basketball and they play defense pretty well because they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
it's like that. They
don't
oblivious.
know. They don't know you're playing 50% speed. They don't realize like if you wanted to score 11 out of 12, you could do it.
Right.
Yes.
I could have on this kid. He never played before.
Of course. Nothing kills a pickup basketball game more than the pastor's 13-year-old cousin being on the floor because it's like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to go just destroy this kid and haunt his dreams?
And we had 4 or 5 of those
stand there
last week.
Yeah.
And the irony in that whole deal, because we've all played church league basketball at some point in time, right? A game here or there, whatever. Pick up at least with a church type group. And you talk about scoring 11 out of 12. Not only does it destroy the confidence of the person that you are or that's guarding you, it destroys the game.
Because it kills the game. Then it's a game killer.
Then it makes these quote unquote Christians who lead the church, it really irritates them to where now they don't even like you. Now they're not going to tell you. They're going to keep that fake smile on their face while they do it. But you're not invited back. Let's just say.
Listen, our church is for everybody, but it's probably not for you. You score a little bit too much. If you could play a little more defense, play a little more team basketball, you're welcome into our congregation. And again, we should probably stop here because it is hilarious, but we're going to offend somebody.
But it's true. And the problem is when Cam walks away after scoring 11 out of 12, and they're going to say, "Hey, is that guy coming back?" And nah, we're not going to invite him back. He shoots too much.
Yeah,
that's what they're going to say.
Yeah, and he was wearing shorts, which is unacceptable.
That only happened once. That only happened once.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. This is our list. This is the topic. I've got it pulled up big and bold on the screen, guys. You can see it. Bleacher Report. This, don't shoot the messenger. Like, I posted this on Instagram. People started jumping my ass. They're like, "You're an idiot. You put this person there." I'm like, dude, read the freaking post. It says Bleacher Report's top 100. This is not Cajun Cardboard's top 100.
Right.
But it was an unbelievable topic of conversation. So I thought, what better thing than to take this Bleacher Report top 100 list and blast it on the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel and bring my basketball savants on here to argue about who's overrated, who's underrated, or just anything interesting that you see from this. Now, here's the trick, guys, right? We know this. It doesn't give you everybody's name, right? So you got to look at people. So old people, you're going to know who number 44 is. Cameron, possibly, but maybe not. Maybe Cameron doesn't recognize Clyde Frazier. Maybe he doesn't recognize Pettit and Kuzi here because their images are black and white for a reason. They played 45 years before Cameron was born,
Right.
you know, and even some of them I even struggled with. Jonathan, out of the 100, again, there's no names on here. How many could you identify just by picture out of the 100?
Probably 92.
Yeah, I think I was between 92 and 95. So there's no shame in Cameron, your number was, I think you said
75. I missed 25, I think.
Okay, so about 75. That's pretty good for a dude in his mid-20s, to be honest with you. So you could tell, Jonathan, we've at least some of our knowledge has bled over.
Yeah, eventually. He's going to get through. Eventually.
Yeah, for Cameron to be recognized in just a couple of plumbers and firemen is really good. All right, so let's just do this way. Let's just start at the bottom. And I'm trying to zoom in, but keep it on the screen. I don't know if y'all can see there. That's about the best I can do right there. I think number 100 is Artis Gilmore. Am I correct? Okay. And then 99, I'll be guessing, dude. I don't know. Is it Nate Thurman?
99. Hold on.
I can't see.
I actually have it.
It's some of these pictures are so small, it's hard to see.
Yeah, 99 is Klay Thompson, I believe.
No, 98 is Klay Thompson.
I'm sorry, 99 is Dave Bing.
99 is Dave Bing. Is there ever been a blacker guy with a whiter name?
Yeah, and actually he's very light skinned. So he's So anyhow.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Dave Bing was a baller. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's just rotate. Let's go around the horn in any order. We're not going to go through and name all the players, but like guys that stood out to you that were ranked too low, meaning they should have been closer to number 1, right? So they were ranked further away from the top than you thought they should have been. Cam, give me your first guy that you thought was just flat out ranked too low.
Too low?
Yeah. Not ranked well enough.
Oh, okay. I put Dwight Howard.
You think Dwight Howard should have been ranked better?
I think he's at least better career-wise than Paul Pierce, even though, well, he does have a ring. I think he's better than Paul Pierce.
Yeah. I'm with you, dude. Jonathan, you agree on Dwight Howard? Was he on your list? I know he's weird. I know he's creepy. I know he dresses up in, women's clothing. But, like, do you think Dwight Howard, the basketball player, you think he should have been ranked better?
Not really. I mean, I think he's probably where he belongs. I mean, I'm not saying some of these other guys he shouldn't be ahead of, but I disagree with some of those as well. But no, look, he had an amazing career. He is one of the most underrated guys ever, and he's penalized because he played in a bad center era. But he did dominate that era for sure.
Give me a yes or no answer to this question, Jonathan. Dwight Howard or Gary Payton?
Okay, that was my question. Is Gary Payton not on this list?
He is.
He's 53.
Oh, 53. Okay.
Yes. It's hard. And guys, if you're watching at home, the list it was printed really small because you got to fit 100 faces on here. So we're not stupid. Like we know what Gary Payton looks like, but it's literally, it's so small. Sometimes it's hard. And I'm trying to zoom in on here, so you can see it and it looks a little bit bigger. That's what she, Gary Payton's 53. Dwight Howard is 52.
Probably Dwight Howard, but I would also take Gary Payton ahead of Reggie Miller. So,
okay, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Cameron chooses Dwight Howard at 52. I can see that, Cam, because defensively, I think people need to go back and look how many years he led the league in rebounding, how many years he was defensive, all defensive team, how many years he was defensive player of the year, I think more than once. In fact, I think he's in that short list of people. Yeah, There's a short list of people that have been Defensive Player of the Year 3 times,
Yep.
and he's on the list. He might be. There's only a few people on that list for sure. Rudy Gobert is on the list too, by the way, but not on this list. Thank God.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right, correct.
Okay, yeah. So Cam goes Dwight Howard 52. Let us know in the comments, is Cam crazy? Dwight Howard always thought he was a little bit better at offense than he was, and sort of pouted, and then kind of figured out, oh wait, just like Andre Drummond figured out, wait, maybe I'm not the best offensive player on my team. Maybe I should just do what I'm awesome at. So Cam goes Dwight Howard at 52, ranked too low. Jonathan, give me one from your list that's ranked too low.
Okay. And so what I did was I actually did what you're talking about, but then I also had who I felt like, kind of like Cam did with Dwight Howard should be ahead of.
I've got 9 comparisons that will expose Bleacher Report's list between players that I compared that are like 1, maybe they're 2 ranked off, maybe they're 10, ranked off. I've got some great comparisons, but give me a guy that's ranked too low.
So Jason Tatum is ranked too low if you're going to put Grant Hill where you put Grant Hill. Now, I believe Grant Hill would have been a better player than Jason Tatum had he stayed healthy, but he did not. So you cannot do that, right?
Yep.
And so Tatum, to me, I don't know where Tatum should be. I just know Grant Hill shouldn't be where he is my point.
Was there ever a time, and again, in the NBA, timing is everything, time and place. There's guys like Barkley with 0 rings. There's guys like Kawhi Leonard with 2 rings, right? So is there, for instance, let's just say Chauncey Billups is ranked 91. Jason Tatum is ranked 93. Was there ever a point in Chauncey Billups' career where he was as good a player as Jason Tatum? Was he ever first team All-NBA? Of course not.
Never.
Jason Tatum's done it, I think.
4 times.
What?
4 times.
First team?
4 times. He did it again last year.
Oh, my God. Okay, I was going to say 2. I didn't know he was 4-time. First team All-NBA?
4 times.
That's
crazy.
Tough.
That's what I'm saying, man. There's not a ton of dudes historically that have done that.
Yeah.
So I look at that. I look at the fact that he was the best player on a title team. I know he didn't win in Finals MVP. I know that, they went to the finals twice, right? I mean, you look at that. Grant Hill never did any of that, right?
Yeah.
He never did any of that. So I don't know. That's
if Grant Hill doesn't get hurt, where do you think he ranks on the list, Cameron? If he doesn't get hurt.
That's different.
Okay. If Grant Hill doesn't get hurt, Jonathan, is he top 20?
I think he's top 30 for sure. Maybe top 20.
Easy top 30. Is he top 20? It depends, because he's going to win it and MVP.
Yep.
He'd need to win 2, and he would need to win a title, obviously, to be top 20. I think you got to do multiple MVPs and a title, or multiple titles and an MVP to get top 20, plus all the numbers. I mean, his numbers would have been absolutely, he was like Scottie Pippen, and Oscar Robertson had a baby, and Magic Johnson, had a threesome baby, and that's what Grant Hill would have been. It would have been incredible. All right, I'm going to give you my first one that's way too low.
Real quick, hold on, before we continue. Is there an argument to be had that Jason Tatum's career has been more successful than Vince Carter's?
Well, I don't want to get into all that. We can do a whole video on that. Let's just.
Jason comparison. My point is, look where Vince Carter's ranked.
Yeah, I don't even know where Vince Carter's ranked. Where
65.
is
he? Yeah, he's 55.
65. Interesting.
65. Yeah, I mean,
okay. Vince Carter is an interesting topic of conversation. All right, my number 1 that's ranked too low. I think Chris Webber's ranked way too low, and the reason I say that is because Bill Walton is 55th. All right. Chris Webber is 90th. Let me just pull something up for you. Here is Chris. First of all, Bill Walton played 468 basketball games.
I know.
That's probably less than Anthony Edwards. I don't know. I haven't looked, but I mean, like 468 games is not nowadays is not even half of a career. Bill Walton was a career 13, 10, and 3. Chris Webber was 21, 10, 4, and 1.5. And Chris Webber made the same number of first-team All-NBAs as Bill Walton, and he made 5 total All-NBAs. And Bill Walton made it twice. Bill Walton does have obviously before the injury. If we say, "Oh, what if Walton had never got hurt?" Well, we could do the same thing with Grant Hill, but he did get hurt, and he did win a huge title that he was not supposed to win, and he was the best player on that title team, and it was a great story. I don't think that's enough to catapult him over Chris Webber. Bill Walton made 2 All-Star teams. He's ranked 55th. You can't do that. You can't do that, man. You can't just project Bill Walton not being injured. The dude got injured, and really, let's be honest with you, he's got 2 championships, but one of them, he was a guy. I mean, he did help and he did matter, but that 86 Celtics title, I think, I think they're winning that title with or without Bill Walton. You could have replaced him with Greg Kite, and they'd have won the title.
Yeah, he was the 6th man of the year that year, which means he didn't start, obviously. So I think the difference is, and I don't know where Bleacher Report was going with this, because I felt like some of this was based on an accumulation and a resume, and some of it was based on what would have been, right?
Yeah.
And Walton was, for 2 years, the one year they won the title in 77, and then the next year, 78, when he actually got hurt but was the MVP. For 2 years, he was the best player in the world. So are they looking
That's
at
where it's going, right? But it didn't go there.
Right.
It didn't go there for long. Yeah. And again, I don't know if Bleacher Report's taking into account their college resume. Maybe they are, because we see Pete Maravich up here at 77. We see Bill Walton at freaking 55. I mean, I just showed you Chris Webber's had a better career than Bill Walton, and Chris Webber's 90th on here. So Webber is number, one of mine ranked too low for me. Cam, give me another one that's ranked too low.
Well, Tatum was my 2, so I'll bump up. I'm going to say Luka.
1,000%. Like,
because
Jonathan, I know he's on your list.
It's just intuitively, I know for a fact his career, if we're projecting, it's already better than Reggie Miller.
For sure.
That is hilarious that you just said that, because I've got it pulled up. Jonathan, Cam, that's exactly the comparison that I had. Look at Luka Doncic compared to Reggie Miller. How about this? Luka Doncic has played the same number of games as Bill Walton in his career. And by the way, Luka Doncic has probably got a little bit of tread left on the tire, a little meat left on the bone, don't you think? Especially now that he's on Men's Health, right? And he's going to be like a CrossFit supermodel. How about Luka Doncic compared to Reggie Miller? 18-3-3 versus 29-9-8. More steals, more blocks. Reggie Miller's got the percentages. And then let's just go down here to the stuff that really matters. Neither one of them has a title, so we're going to, call that a wash. 5 first-team All-NBA, 5 All-NBA, 5 All-Stars. Reggie Miller never made first-team All-NBA.
Never.
He made 3 All-NBAs in like a bazillion seasons, and he had 5 All-Stars.
Yep.
I love Reggie Miller. I love him in the card hobby. I love his swag. I love his style, just like I do for Iverson and Vince Carter. But Reggie Miller is historically, and again, he's historically one of the most overrated basketball players of all time. For Luka Doncic to be 57 and Reggie Miller to be 54 it just means you didn't look at anything. You didn't look at any numbers. It was like, oh, I heard Reggie Miller was good and he made a bunch of shots and he pushed off on Jordan and made a big one. There's just no way. Those players are not even in the same stratosphere.
Cam, you made a comment. You said that Luka's better than Nash and better than Iverson. While we would all agree that he is definitely a better player than those guys. Do you really think his career to date has been better than those 2 guys?
No, because Nash has the MVPs. Luka doesn't have that. But then again, if we look at Nash's numbers, it's not like I don't know. I felt like Nash was a little bit overrated with the MVPs. I don't think accolade wise, it's not as good, but
yeah,
I think in 5 years it will be.
He realistically shouldn't have won either MVP. Okay, he wasn't the best player in the world in either one of those, but he has them. Okay, his statistics outside of scoring are and obviously he's not a rebounder, but
40, 90, man.
Efficiency, he's incredible. Iverson has the MVP. They went to a finals like Luka did. They lost, obviously.
Luka blows Iverson out of the water.
Do what?
Luka blows Iverson out of the water. It's not even close.
Is his career to date better than Iverson's resume?
I'd say yes.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not sure.
I think it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible because he has more first-team All-NBAs already than a lot of guys do.
5.
And then, look, he's most certainly better than Iverson. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying from a resume standpoint, I think
if Luka Doncic got kicked by a horse in the head tomorrow, Luka Doncic has a better statistical career than Allen Iverson.
Just pull it up. Pull it up.
Yeah, the stats are – I mean, the stats are going to be better for sure career-wise. I'm just saying from a standpoint.
But Reggie Miller's the comp because Reggie Miller's right there, what with him. So I think Doncic is, 57 on Bleacher Report?
I can easily put him 20 spots up.
20. Minimum 20. And again, put a huge, fat, juicy red asterisk on it because, he's going to add another first-team All-NBA, and he's going to be an MVP top 5 guy for at least 5 more years. If if freaking Rob Lowe can put some damn players around him and make that team make sense and bring in some defenders, he's going to be in the conversation. At the end of the day, we're going to look back on this video and say, why did we even waste 4 seconds talking about Luka Doncic versus Allen Iverson or Nash or Reggie Miller or any of these guys? But
yeah, that's for sure. I would agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, we all agree Doncic at 57 is dumb. And yes, we all know he only plays one side of the ball. We know that, right? We get it. And we know he's playing in a modern NBA where it's easier to get rebounds and assists. All of the above. Fact of the matter is, watch what happens this year. The scorched earth season from Luka Doncic this year is going to be absolutely otherworldly. Think James Harden MVP year. It's going to be one of those deals where he just goes scorched earth and just destroys everything in his path. If Queen James gets out of his way.
Please.
Let's see how LeBron handles the passing of the torch. LeBron's not real, he's not been real considerate. And it's not really been real supportive of the attention Luka Doncic has gotten in the offseason. It's like, you ask for this guy to come and help you, and then he gets on your training regimen and goes vegan or whatever the hell you call it, where you don't eat bad food, and he turns into this, stud. And now we're ready. We're ready to rock and roll. We're ready to go hit the season, hit the ground running. And LeBron's just kind of been eerily quiet in the background, with Luka taking the face of the franchise under his pouting. But passive-aggressively pouting. Let's see what happens. Give me another one. Cam, give me another one ranked. Oh, no, Jonathan, it's your turn. Give me another one ranked too low.
Okay, so, and again, this is a comparison. And it's actually a good comparison, I think. Dominique Wilkins, I think, where is he ranked? 50?
He's 50th.
Okay. So Dominique Wilkins is ranked 50th. And I have forever felt this way. Clyde Drexler is 39. Okay. Was Dominique Wilkins not better than Clyde Drexler, in your opinion?
No,
you don't think he was overall? I thought Drexler had a great year when they went to the finals. One of the years they went to the finals. But other than that, I'm not sure that they're not the same player, worst case scenario. Okay.
They're certainly similar players. I think Drexler's numbers were probably better.
Oh, no, they definitely weren't. That's for sure they weren't.
They definitely weren't better than Dominique's.
Yeah, Dominique averaged like 26 or 27 for his career.
Okay.
Yeah. But nonetheless, I thought that was an interesting one because those two guys are a lot
same
closer.
Era, same position,
same idea. Couldn't dribble with their left hand, couldn't really shoot, really athletic. And then I'll go ahead and do it. I just wanted to throw that out there, but I'm going to put it out there. Kobe at 11.
Yeah, Kobe at 11. Yeah, it's tough, man. That's too low. I agree with you. And he's the first person that's in the I don't want to say GOAT conversation because for the three of us, we know he's not. But a lot of people out there, his name's mentioned with Rushmore and all that stuff. But 11 is too low. Yeah.
It's too low because who should he be ahead of, in your opinion?
I've already got it pulled up. He's ahead of Steph Curry.
Yep.
There's the numbers. He's played significantly more games, which I'm going to reward a person for, right?
Sure.
And Steph hasn't had the twilight years yet, which are going to bring down his numbers. And even without those twilight years, Kobe's better. He's 25-5. Steph's 24.7 and 5. So they're what on that. And Steph is a significantly more efficient player than Kobe Bryant. He is significant. Kobe Bryant was not an efficient basketball player. Nope. And that's the thing that people are in denial about because they look at the counting stats and they look at the game winners. They don't look at the game winners taken and missed or the clutch percentage, which was horrible. And so it's really weird.
He never shot 47% in any single season.
I know.
One time.
And here's the funny thing. He's an incredible shooter. It's just he's taking the most contested shots we've ever seen in our life. He's taking the shots Jordan took, but he couldn't create the separation Jordan created, right?
Defensively, though, he was significantly better.
Yes. And that's why I think Kobe is light years ahead of Steph Curry. And Steph worked his ass off his whole career to try to be more invisible defensively, to try to not be a big red flag, right? A big problem that you're always having to game plan around as a coach. But look at, Kobe's got more titles. Kobe's got first team All NBAs. Why don't you say 11-4? That's a big deal, dude. 15 All NBAs to 11, 12 All Defensive to 0. That's where the conversation stops. You're talking about, I don't care how high or low you are on Kobe. Is he a top, for gauging superstars' defensive ability? All right. I'm not talking about comparing him to freaking,
Tony
Ron
Allen.
Artest,
Yeah, right.
superstars.
Right.
Is he not a top 10 perimeter defensive superstar of all time?
For sure.
Like if we looked at the 50 guys on this list that are perimeter players, would Kobe not be in the top 5 or 6?
Yeah.
Of course.
No doubt.
Of course.
Yep.
And a metric that I used was all defensive plus all NBA. And Kobe has more than anybody in the history of the sport. Anybody except one person. You know who it is?
More. Say that again. What was
all
this?
NBA and all defensive added up. Kobe has more than anybody in NBA history except
Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan. That's right. Tim Duncan's the only one. And those two guys are the guys that are very difficult to compare.
I know.
They belong together. And if they belong together, then how is Tim Duncan number 7 on the list and Kobe's number 11? Kobe needs to be higher on that list. Okay, my next one is Giannis at 24. He's better than 24 already. That's just my personal opinion, and I am a huge Giannis fan. He's behind Dwayne Wade. I don't understand that.
Agreed.
He's behind Karl Malone. I don't understand that.
Nope.
He's behind Moses Malone. Now we're getting close. He's behind Doc. There's 2 guys on this list, Jonathan and Cameron, that are the hardest guys in the world to rank. I made a separate list. There's actually 3 hardest guys on this list to rank. Bill Russell. It's just miserable.
No, he's not. No, he's not hard to rank.
It is, Jonathan. It is. It's miserable. You're just stubborn. He's impossible to rank. You can rank him 5, and I'm not going to call you an idiot. You could rank him 16, and I'm not going to call you an idiot. That's weird. You can't say that about anybody else on this list. So Russell is difficult to rank. The next one that's difficult to rank is Dennis Rodman. He's number 67 on this list. It's just really hard to rank a person who only plays one end of the court. And that's how Russell kind of was, and that's exactly how Rodman was. Yeah. And then the other one is Dr. J, and he's hard to rank because he did so much damage in the ABA. It's very difficult to quantify that, and you can't just carry it over and say, well, if he did it here, he would have done it here. And we don't know that.
Right.
But we know what he did in the ABA. We know what he did in the NBA. He's a very difficult person to list. If you had him at 30, okay. If you have him at 15, okay. I mean, he's just one of those guys. It's just really tough. Your thoughts on Dr. J, Jonathan? He's your guy. He's your hero, dude. So I know you're subjective.
He is. And if you count the ABA, if you count it as equitable with the NBA, then he's got to be high. Okay. Yeah. I don't necessarily. And so I think he needs to be lower than this. Giannis is a better player than he ever was. Now people looking at that's a struggle for me to say because there's a point. Yeah, there was a point where people thought Dr. J was the best player in the world, right? And I think it was more his game was sexier than everybody else's. It wasn't really, when you go look at the numbers, you dig into it. But I don't know. I think Giannis's deal is so you think Giannis should be top 20, I'm assuming.
Oh, unquestionably.
Okay. My issue is this. Moses Malone, we would agree, is probably the most underrated player of all time, right? Historically. One of them at least. Okay.
There's a list. We can make a list. Yes, he's certainly in my 5 most underrated players of all time. Yes.
3 MVPs. Okay. He has 3 MVPs. He went to the finals 3 times, won 1. And I mean,
greatest offensive rebounder in the history of basketball will never be matched.
Not close.
His offensive rebounding record is, it's what with Stockton's assist and steals record.
Yes.
We're just never going to see it. We'll never, ever see anyone approach Moses Malone's offensive rebound.
Right. So I'm not putting Giannis ahead of him yet.
Yeah. But he's ranked too low at 21.
And he's on my list.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. I agree. Both those guys should be top 20. Let's just say
a good comparison would be Moses Malone and Kevin Garnett. Moses Malone and Dirk Nowitzki and those guys, right? So I don't know.
Would it? Think about it. Okay.
I know the MVPs. I get it, but he's probably better than both of those guys. They've all got 1 ring. Is that right?
Yeah.
And he's got 3 MVPs, and Dirk and KG have 1 each.
Yeah, but my point is Giannis better than Dirk and KG?
Well, he's got multiple MVPs and a title as well.
Yep.
And a lot of tread on the tire. We talk about Doncic. I mean, Giannis is older than Doncic, but there's something to be said about the rest of Giannis's career. He is not exactly riding off into the sunset. He's got work to do. And don't be surprised if in February Giannis is on the Lakers or Giannis is on the Rockets or Giannis is on a team and suddenly they become the NBA favorite.
Yeah, but he also has a Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes.
He's not a better defender than Garnett was, but let's call him what and what. Maybe Garnett was a little better, whatever.
Better defender than Dirk.
I mean, maybe, yeah. Anyhow, so yeah, I agree. I think he is a little low, which is going to lead to another guy I know we're going to get to.
Okay. Go ahead. Give me another one. Give me your next one that's too low. By the way, I had Doncic on my list. So I've had Giannis, I've had Doncic, and I've had Weber. Give me another one. Cam, you give us another one that's ranked too low.
Yep.
Well, I had Tatum, but we already said that. I only had 3. I just maybe I'm just connected. Pistol Pete.
You can't. And here's the deal: you can't say every white guy in the '80s. You can't do that. You can't say every black and white picture is ranked too high. You can't do that. That's not fair, man. A, it's racist, and B, you're penalizing them for the.
Oh, we're doing too high or too low?
Right. Too low.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Too low. Cam, you're done. We went through your
I'm
list.
done. I only had 3.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, look, if you're seeing the same stuff that Coach Pixley and I are seeing, then you're doing something right? That's our perspective. Jonathan, you got another one that's ranked too low?
Yeah.
Give it to me.
The best player in the world today.
Give it to me.
Nikola Jokic.
Too low.
Definitely too low, without question.
Definitely too low.
Too low, right? He's closer to top 10 than he is to top 20.
Yeah.
Right. So I think he should be top 15 easy.
Yeah.
And I think he's way too low. And I know, man, look, you say I'm hard-headed with this, and I know I'm hard-headed, but I just can't take a guy who averages 16 points a game and shoots 40% for his career and go, he's better than Nikola Jokic by 12 spots.
You talking about Russell?
I'm talking about Bill Russell. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard. Yeah. It's really funny because, I like to think that we're objective on this channel. And like we just talked about Dr. J. Dr. J is your freaking hero, right? You got a poster of Dr. J up on your wall.
Yep.
And you're at least objective enough to say you think Dr. J might be a little bit overrated, right? And that's hard to do. So I don't want people to think we're picking on old dudes, because again, we're not saying, could Bob Pettit and beat Nikola Jokic one-on-one? He would lose 100-0. Okay. We're not talking about that. We're talking about numbers on paper measured against those peers in that era. And you can't do the time machine game. You can't say, well, if Moses Malone played in 1957 with Bill Russell, he would. We're not playing those games. We're just looking at numbers on paper, man, because it's the only way you can measure it.
That's right.
Otherwise, Theo Ratliff, would have gone 30-20 in 1958, right? It's just one of those deals. So we're not doing that. We're not playing that game, but we're trying to be objective here, man. And I'm not going to be objective with Isaiah Thomas because I hate him. And so I'm just going to go ahead and say that on the channel. Jonathan, we're not going to be objective with Paul Pierce because he's pushing Isaiah as my most hated player in history. He's number 1 for you? Is Paul Pierce your most hated player in history?
Number 1, and it's now gotten not close. Yeah.
It's really not even close. Where is Draymond? Is there any way Draymond could catch Pierce?
He's number 2, and unless Draymond starts openly saying, I'm the greatest, I'm one of the greatest of all time at this or that, then
that's going to happen, though.
He probably will at some point in time. But
I pray to God.
He's about to be on TNT or whatever he's
going to have a lot of opportunities to talk about how great he was. That's
like
for sure.
if I'm Klay Thompson, for example, okay, who I'm not sure belongs on this list, but he's in it, okay. If I'm Klay Thompson and Draymond Green is ranked 10 spots ahead of me, I'm pissed. I am pissed, like beyond pissed, right?
Pissed.
And so we don't really need to cover the fact that Draymond shouldn't be on the list. We know that. But nonetheless, no, I'm with you. Look, I'm going to throw something out there to you that is, I have, I don't know, floundered on, I guess, back and forth over the years. I think Wilt Chamberlain's ranked too high.
Really? Because I was about to say Wilt Chamberlain's ranked too low. He was the last one on my list.
I think he's too high. I did a little digging, and I know I've gone this route before, okay?
Yeah? You unearthed something new about Wilt Chamberlain?
Yeah.
That hasn't been brought up in the last 78 years?
So, no. For me, I didn't know, is what I'm saying.
Okay, please go. Expose Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
Why is a fraud? Go ahead.
So, we already know that his playoff numbers are significantly worse than his regular season. Okay?
Okay.
But what I was concerned about was I was like, okay, am I penalizing him for the later years? Like, did the playoff numbers drop that much in the later years, which, well, then his regular season numbers would have dropped that much as well, right? So he averaged 30.1 for his career in the regular season. He averaged 22.5 points a game in the playoffs for his career, okay? It's the biggest drop in the history of basketball. Okay. His rebounds stayed on par, all those things, great. I think because of the fact that early in his career, I went back and looked. I was like, well, was he averaging like 40 a game in his first 5-6 years in the playoffs? And he was not. He was still like high 20s. Okay?
Who else was?
What do you mean?
Who else has in the history of basketball averaged 40 in the playoffs for their first 5 years?
No, I'm saying based on his numbers that he was averaging in the regular season.
Okay.
It's relatable. Okay. So his drop off in the playoffs, which also led to his struggle to win titles, okay, to me makes him, I don't know, 9 may be about right actually, but I used to have him. Used to have him top 5 for sure.
Yeah, he's in my Rushmore. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't have him there, man.
Okay, let me ask you a
he
question.
should be ahead of Bill Russell. He should be ahead
why
of
do
Bill
you
Russell.
think his playoff number? You've coached basketball. You've coached more basketball games than most people can dream of. Okay, and we've coached NBA pros. We've coached against a lot of NBA pros. We've been around it, and so you've got some standing to talk about X's and O's and game management and matchups and things like that. Why is it, do you think, Wilt Chamberlain's numbers drop off in the playoff? You think he was scared of the moment? You think he lacked confidence?
I know where you're going here. You're going.
Where am I going?
You're
that
going
he was triple teamed? Maybe that he was triple teamed?
The fact that defense is focused on him, this, that, the other.
Yeah.
Why did Shaquille O'Neal's numbers go up in the playoffs?
Well, why did 90% of the people on this top 100 list numbers go down in the playoff? I believe 90% of them did. I believe Jordan's didn't. I believe Shaq's didn't. I guarantee you Kobe's percentages are in the toilet if you compare his playoff to his regular season. It's because teams have time to game plan, and the games mean more, and so adjustments are made. I truly believe 90% of these greatest players of all time numbers go down in the playoffs.
They do. LeBron's have not, which is ironic. But there's only a few guys whose numbers stayed the same or went up, and you're correct about that. But nobody's numbers dropped nearly as much as this guy.
But nobody else stood out like that man. Nobody on this list stood out like Wilt Chamberlain did.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't believe that. Jordan didn't stand out to the level that Wilt Chamberlain did. Like,
well, sure, I get that. That's fine. Jordan didn't stand out like Shaquille O'Neal stood out. Okay?
Yeah. I see what you mean. The Shaq comparison is your best comparison. If Shaq can do it, then Wilt can do it, and Shaq did it in a much tougher era. Yep. But then again, you can't ignore Kobe Bryant. But you can ignore fill in the blank Wilt Chamberlain teammate.
I'm not
Hal Greer or whatever the hell you want to. I don't.
Yeah, he played with more Hall of Famers than you realize.
I know he did, but there was 8 to 10 teams in the league. It was just different. All right, well, that's weird that we disagree on that, and that you've turned on me, and we're no longer friends. That's really weird. Okay.
When I say overrated, I actually, when people see this list and they look at Wilt Chamberlain at 9, they're going to freak out and go, "What are you talking about?" I think he's probably in the right spot, if not maybe a spot or two lower.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. We can disagree on that, and I'll let you live. Who is ranked way too high? I don't want to talk anymore about Bill Russell. So Bill Russell's on my list. He's not the 5th best player of all time. And a bunch of, blue hairs with no teeth left can come at me. Come at me on the channel. If you know how to make comments on YouTube, come get me. That's fine. It's not that I don't respect him. It's that Bill Russell, ranking him gives me more anxiety than anything on earth. Ranking Bill Russell historically gives me more anxiety than cliff diving. Okay. So I don't know what to say. He's ranked too high for me. Cam, give me one that you think is ranked way too high.
I'm going to leave my personal ones for later, but I think we mentioned it earlier, Steph Curry.
Yeah.
I think Kobe for sure is obviously better.
Who else behind Steph Curry is better? Olajuwon? Durant? Definitely not.
Yeah,
Oscar Robertson? No chance. Jerry West? Kevin Garnett?
Yeah, it's not like we're moving them back 15 spots. It's just like 1 or 2. But
2 or 3, yeah. I think Jokic and Kobe are the only 2 people behind Steph that have any argument to be near Steph. And I think Kobe should be ahead of Steph. And I think Jokic and Steph is a conversation. Nobody else behind Steph deserves to be higher. So,
you know what's funny about this is I'm sitting here saying, okay, Wilt Chamberlain at 9 is either right or should be lower. If we get the guys out, like Bill Russell, if he's out where he should be somewhere else, okay,
yeah.
Well, then Wilt probably stays or moves up. Kobe passes Curry, right? But Curry still might be 11 at that point, right? So it's really not as far off as we're making it sound. But I agree, he just shouldn't be ranked ahead of certain guys. Would you rank Steph Curry ahead of Jokic right now?
No, there's 2 guys. There's only 2 guys that you can say are below Curry on this list that should be higher. And I'm not saying they are. I'm saying you could argue, and it's Jokic and Curry. None of these other guys. You can't tell me Dr. J's ahead of Curry, David Robinson, Nowitzki, Garnett, Jerry West, Oscar Robertson, Kevin Durant, or Olajuwon. They cannot be ahead of Curry. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Maybe you could argue the Olajuwon from the just insane defensive prowess side. If you're just really all about, giving defense as much credit as offense, you could talk about Olajuwon. But, how many? Curry's got 4?
4 and 2. And
Olajuwon's got 2. And Curry's.
You can't argue Jokic is ahead of Curry right now. You can't. I don't think you can do it. He has 1 title.
I think from just a number of games played standpoint, it's difficult. We talked about it. If we're going to penalize Walton, we got to penalize Jokic. And Jokic has been very durable. It's just that he's not old enough. We got to have this conversation 4 years from now, and then we'll see. Shit, Curry may be playing 4 years from now. I mean, how long can a dude stand in the corner and shoot 57% in the NBA? He could probably do this as long as he wants to. You know what I mean? He just loves the golf, and he's got a family, and I don't know if he wants to put his body through that. But like 4 years from now, I think we will be having the conversation of Jokic and Curry for sure. But we can have the Curry-Kobe conversation, and we already had it, and Kobe's better.
Yep.
All right, give me another one, Jonathan, that's ranked too high.
I said Vince Carter already, and the reason why I said Vince Carter is because similar players from not athleticism, but from a standpoint of just scorers. Adrian Dantley, Alex English, Bernard King, who were better scorers than Vince Carter was in their era.
People would be shocked.
Way below.
Yeah, if you ask people how many points did Vince Carter average over his career, I think a lot of people would say 26, 27. It's not.
No.
It's much, much lower than that. And again, nobody had more twilight seasons. Well, maybe a few, but he had a lot of twilight seasons where he was just hanging on because he's just so freaking awesome, man. I hope he's, I would pay my hard-earned money to listen to him talk over Draymond Green.
Oh.
I would give money. I would contribute money to ESPN or whoever the hell just to make Draymond Green go away and replace him with Vince Carter, because Vince Carter is thoughtful, polished. He's an awesome dude. He was a great locker room guy, and that's why he had so many twilight years. You will not see Draymond Green bouncing from team to team because he's not a locker room guy. He's the opposite. Now, I hate to keep comparing. Draymond Green's not the standard. He's a shit teammate, right? I'm talking about but Vince Carter was exceptional as a human being, and I think that gets him a little bit of added credibility on this list at 65.
Okay, so my guy, though, that I really want to talk about is I think James Harden is ranked too high.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, see, because I was going to compare James Harden to Jason Kidd, who's right next to him. Let's get into this, okay, Jonathan?
Do it.
Is Kidd ranked where he belongs?
Let's see, where is he, 33?
Yep. 33 Kidd, 34 Harden. They're ranked right on top of each other.
I mean,
I've got it pulled up.
Statistically, there's no comparison. Okay, I get that. But if you said, who would you like to have on your team to give your team a chance to win a significant amount, I would take Jason Kidd 10 times out of 10 ahead of James Harden.
So would I, because we don't like James Harden.
Well, because he's proven why we don't like him and we don't like his game. And he is the ultimate. He's the Wilt Chamberlain of the perimeter. How about that?
He's the Wilt Chamberlain of the perimeter. That's a great. I mean, again, the disparity is not that great, but yeah, he is. Jonathan, that's a great observation. He's the Wilt Chamberlain of the perimeter, man. I don't know. I mean, dude, that's a lot of. I guess it depends on how much weight you put on regular season versus postseason. You've always been give me the best player, in the playoffs, and look at their playoff disparity between playoffs and regular season, and that disparity for James Harden is horrific. Not just the number comparison, but how he crashes and burns consistently.
Yes.
And not really doesn't really crash and burn. He just sails off and he's nowhere to be found. Yep. It's really frightening. Like almost like it's a mental illness or something that he's got, when May and June roll around. I don't know. But I thought this would be an interesting comparison because theoretically they're both point guards, right? They did it very differently, obviously, as you can tell by their numbers. Harden averages twice as many points as Kidd.
Yep.
Kidd was an elite defender. Kidd was an elite defender, right? Not quite Gary Payton, but damn near it. And Harden is one of the worst perimeter defenders that ever existed. I mean, it makes Luka Doncic look like, Alvin Robertson.
Yep. Who would you have rather had? Think about it.
Kidd.
Who would you have rather had to win games? James Harden or Allen Iverson? In their prime. Similar
teammate.
Similar approach, right?
Is this trying to get me into the playoffs? I would rather James Harden. Is it trying to win a title? I don't want either one of those. Little people don't win titles.
Harden's 6'5".
No, little people. I'm saying Iverson. Iverson never win you a title. Never.
But he went to
you
the
got a player who doesn't make his teammates better, who is tiny, right?
But he went
Harden's
to the finals.
giant. But Harden doesn't win you titles either. So the fact of the matter is, like, if you just want me to, as an owner, if I'm just trying to get to the playoffs year after year after year for revenue reasons, I'm always taking James Harden over Allen Iverson.
Taking Iverson for revenue reasons. That's not even close.
Well, that's off the court stuff. That's fan appreciation.
Yeah, that's
dude. If you're asking me who would I want to be my teammate, freaking Allen Iverson, right? But if you're just asking me who do I want to win more regular season games and improve my chances to get to the playoffs, it is not close. It's James Harden.
Oh, I don't think so. And the reason why, think about the fact that Iverson went to the finals. James Harden never did. Okay, let's move on because that is you could be what and what with that, in my opinion.
That's too much. All right, give me another one. Give me another one that's ranked too high. So you think Harden needs to move down? And again, that's like if you're looking at it and say, who would you rather have as a teammate? You can move his fat ass down to 99 for all I care, right? I'm with you, dude. I get it.
Drexler, Patrick Ewing.
Dude, all of them. Nash, Iverson, the two Whiteys. I mean, all of them. You could take them all. I mean, Kuzi, Pettit. You can go down the list. I am, definitely 100% agree with you. Here's somebody that's ranked way, way too low, in my opinion, and that is Rick Barry at 41.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
That's a problem, dude. I mean, Rick Barry is one of the best. I mean, he's in the conversation for the best player in the world during a little brief stretch. Yep. And he and Dirk Nowitzki have the two most heavily weighted rings in history, in my opinion, right? Meaning they had more to do with their ring than any other player had to do with their ring. Rick Barry, Dirk Nowitzki.
6, you mean?
Huh?
Outside of Jordan 6.
Well, it's a little different. My point is, Jordan had Hall of Fame teammates. Name a Rick Barry teammate.
Nate Thurman.
Was Nate Thurman in his prime when Rick Barry took that team to the title?
He was on the team. I don't know if he's in his prime or not.
Yeah. I mean, Jordan had prime Pippen and pretty damn good Rodman and Kukoc. And I mean, when I think of Rick Barry's starting five that won the title, I think of Rick Barry. I don't think of an old Nate Thurman or anybody else, to be quite honest with you.
I'm with you, but also with a terrible era for basketball then, too.
Yeah, I know. But 41. I'm not saying he should be 20. I'm saying he should not be 41. I'm saying he should not be behind James Harden. I'm saying he should not be behind Iverson for sure. I don't think he should be behind Drexler.
Right.
Drexler was never the best player at his position in the NBA.
Never.
Rick Barry was definitely the best player at his position in the NBA for sure.
Sure.
And led the league in scoring a couple times. Okay, so Rick Barry's on my list. Ranked way too high. I got Paul Pierce. I got some asshole at number 27. I got Paul George being on this list is.
I had that as well.
How did he make the list?
Just
how?
Podcast.
Laughable. Let's get him off the list. I think Mutombo might be ranked too high at 81. But again, he's another one of those guys, like, you got three guys on this who like to shoot the basketball, not necessarily stop people from shooting it. So we might be biased. And everybody loved Mutombo. His teammates, the media, the world, citizens of the world love Mutombo. So I get it. But Mutombo at 81 and Chris Webber at 90, I'm just not down with it, dude.
I got to figure there are 5 centers historically that aren't on this list that are better than the Dikembe Mutombo. I don't know. That's
kind of how I feel.
I got to figure they exist.
Yeah.
So anyhow,
is Ray Allen ranked way too high?
Way too high.
Yeah, I just now noticed that. I'm looking. I'm like, Ray Allen is next to Dwight Howard, Gary Payton. Yeah. He's 6 spots ahead of Doncic.
Right.
I'm like, God, nobody loved Ray Allen more than me, but damn, dude.
Is
he
Ray
better than
Allen
Carmelo?
better than Klay Thompson? Now you got to keep in mind at the beginning of his career, he was a scorer.
Young Ray Allen was better than prime Ray Allen was better than prime Klay Thompson ever was.
Okay.
But Klay Thompson's latter half of his career, and he's way past his prime, he's not real relevant now, was probably on par without, I don't know, that's tough, Jonathan. That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
You know, two great shooters. I think Klay Thompson is in my top 5 shooters, perimeter shooters that ever lived.
Oh, for sure. And Klay Thompson was an elite defender at one point.
And was a good defender at one point. Yeah, I don't think Ray Allen was ever an elite defender.
No.
That's a great question. Should they be, you know, if we're not sure who is better, why are they 47 spots apart?
Exactly.
That's the question. Cam,
right.
What do you think about Klay Thompson and Ray Allen? What and what?
Well,
or should they be 47 spots apart? I don't even know who's better.
Well, I think I agree with the younger Ray Allen because he could score in different ways. Klay Thompson was kind of predominantly perimeter.
Yeah. We never got to see Klay Thompson alpha.
And then, Ray Allen was way more athletic too.
Yeah. Klay Thompson's in that list of we don't know if they were alphas with Pippen. We don't know if Pippen could have been an alpha. We just got that brief season, and he went ape shit that season, but they didn't win anything. You know, we don't know if Pippen could have been the alpha that he always thought he was. We never really got to see Dwight Howard as that guy, although he had enough of a chance to prove if he was or wasn't, I think. I'm trying to think of some other guys on here. You know, guys that were alphas that would have been great second guys. I think of Reggie Miller. I think of guys that actually were alphas that would have been great betas. I think Reggie Miller would have been incredible. Who else on this list? Bosch.
Should Tony Parker be there? I don't really know enough about Tony Parker, but
Tony Parker is another very difficult one to rank because we live in a numbers society, and he sacrificed as much as almost anybody on this list. I think if you put Tony Parker on
why is he behind Ginobili?
Thank you. That's
exactly what I've got pulled up. Here you go.
Yes.
You called it, Cam. There you go. That's the comparison. Tony Parker's played 200 more games almost on the nose. Tony Parker played against starters. Manu Ginobili did not. Tony Parker averaged more points, and Manu Ginobili's job was to score. Tony Parker averaged obviously more assists. Ginobili's 3 numbers were better because Parker didn't shoot threes. Parker was more efficient. Ginobili did not shoot 45% for his career. That's bad. Tony Parker shot 49% for a 6'1" guy, 6'2" guy. That's really impressive. Again, he was not bringing his percentages down because he never took threes. They obviously both have 4 titles. We know that because they had a lot to do with it. They were the beta to Duncan. 4 All-NBAs for Parker, 2 for Ginobili, a Finals MVP for Parker. That's a huge notch in his belt that Ginobili doesn't have, and 3 times as many All-Stars, 6 versus 2. So I think that is a no-brainer. It's clear-cut that Tony Parker is a better basketball player than Ginobili, and he's 11 spots behind him at 86.
That didn't make any sense. And the other part is I can't believe Ginobili made 2 All-NBAs. Like, I don't remember when he would have ever made an All-NBA. That didn't make any sense to me.
No, because he's making it as a shooting guard in the West.
Yeah.
You know, so you're saying he's one of the 6 best.
And he was a 6 man, right?
So a lot of his
multiple 6 man of the year. But again, that's the award that I don't give a shit about. No offense.
Who cares?
I don't care.
So how is he making an All-NBA team as a 6 man?
Right. I'm not sure. I'm assuming he started those years. He had to have started those years. But the point is, he never averaged 20 points a game. Never. Not one time.
Ever.
So, yeah. So
I don't see how people – I don't think people – you know, we played basketball, right? So you, Jonathan, you started every game of your high school and college career. But I used to come off the bench, and I don't think people understand the difference between trying to score against the starting 5 or the other team's best defender and trying to score against the second unit, and how different the game, not just score, but just how different it is to play the game. You know, it's like playing in a Catholic church league versus a Pentecostal church league, Cameron.
there it is.
There you go, Cam. Let's come full circle and bring it back, baby. Right?
Freaking go.
Talent level is just so different. Okay, I got a couple more comparisons. I compared Nikola Jokic and Oscar Robertson. By the way, Oscar Robertson's ranked 14th. Jokic is ranked 17th. This is tough because Jokic is not done. I don't even want to talk about that one. Let's scratch that one. I had Harden and Kidd. I had Paul Pierce and Gary Payton pulled up. There you go. Almost identical games. Paul Pierce did not average 20 as for career, but his only job was to score.
And he is the self-proclaimed greatest scorer.
Yes, most versatile scorer of all time. Why don't we go ahead down here and look at the numbers that matter? Championships, 1-1. First team All-NBA, Pierce never did it. Gary Payton has 2 in an impossible era in the Western Conference with John Stockton. And I go down the list, right? There's others out there, right? All-NBA, 9-4, Gary Payton.
Huh? It doesn't matter about the West. It's the West and the East.
No, I know. But all-star teams, it's 9-10. But all defensive, 9-0. All-NBA, 9-4. Get this shit out of here. Get the Paul Pierce shit out of here. He doesn't work for Bleacher Report, so I don't really even get it. How in the world would Paul Pierce be ranked 49th and Gary Payton ranked 53rd? That's one of the worst things I've ever seen, right?
How about Paul Pierce being ranked 49th and go back to your scores?
Chris Webber.
Dantley, English, King, Dominique, Chris Webber, right? I mean,
just compare him to the scorers that are ranked behind him.
Right. That's my thing is there were guys who were much better scorers than he was, and that was what he did.
How about this? Isn't Jason Tatum a better Celtic than Paul Pierce?
Yes.
Well, why is Jason Tatum 93? Pierce is 49. Pierce is next to Damian Lillard. I mean, he's next to Westbrook. I mean, this is absurd. I don't even want to talk about
He has a nickname. He has a good nickname.
Huh? Who does? Which one?
Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. It is a great nickname. He probably gave it to
the truth at some point. I just wish he would tell the truth at any point in time.
Yeah.
Just at some point.
Yeah. Can I go now? He gave himself a nickname. If anybody gives himself a nickname, it will be him for sure. Call me the
I had his shoes once.
I know.
Good shoes.
I got James Worthy at 63 and Damian Lillard at 64 being a real problem. I got that being a real problem, Jonathan. I think Worthy's getting a lot of credit for being the third best player on his team.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, but if you put Worthy on another team where he's the best guy,
that's also true. You're right about that, man.
I don't know, man. It's just hard to do. I think Lillard is a great player, obviously, but he's never won. Worthy won 4 titles.
And Lillard's window's completely slammed shut. He'll never be the guy on a title. If he sneaks a title in, that's great, but he'll never be the guy. It'll be a Jason Kidd title. If he does.
Not a fair comparison. Those two dudes couldn't.
I know. I know. I was just thinking to myself, Worthy is a little bit overrated because he's 17-5. That just sounds very Reggie Miller to me. Yeah. But the difference is, Worthy has 3 rings on his hand, and Worthy was Big Game James in that one finals where he just went bananas, dude. And that's historic, man. That matters. He went historic in an era where all eyes were on the Lakers and the Celtics. It's like, damn, he went freaking scorched earth and just took it over. Again, I want to say, though, in that finals, I actually went back and looked. There's a really good argument that Magic was the MVP of that finals.
For sure. No, he should have.
If you go back and look at the numbers, Magic's numbers were way better. But I think James Worthy had 2 crazy out-of-this-world scoring games that just were extremely out of character.
He had a triple-double in Game 7.
And I think he had 40-plus in one of the games before that. It was a must-win kind of game. So I'm not going to take it away from him, but let's go back and look a little bit closer. That might have been Magic's NBA Finals MVP that he has. So I just thought that is a weird comparison.
Yeah.
2 different eras, 2 different positions. I like both of them.
Can I go next?
Yeah, go, Cam. You're up.
Or you can go. Do you have a question?
No, go ahead. I'll ask you after.
Well, I have 2. So I just had to state the obvious because just personal bias. I don't like that Draymond's even near 88. He should be 288.
There's
obviously
500 players better than him.
Obviously, we know statistically.
There's not 500. Don't because you're going to lose credibility. There's 250.
That's fine with me. I'd rather lose credibility and get this guy than your followers think that I know what I'm talking about.
Tell us how you really feel about Draymond.
Statistically, he doesn't belong there. Ring-wise, he had really nothing to do with it. He's valued for his intangibles, but when he uses his intangibles, he's not even close to as good as Jimmy Butler. When he taps into his rage, he just fouls people.
Dude, he's a glue guy that brings people together. He's a
Jimmy Butler actually does stuff on offense and defense. And then also he's not better than Rodman at the same, what people say are they're similar roles. And then my second question is Chris Bosh, should he be on the list? And if he is, why wouldn't it be Kevin Love?
Yeah. I get it. Oh my God, that's a great kind of career path comp right there between Kevin Love and Bosh. Both of them had alpha ass numbers before they decided to join super teams. Jonathan, what are your thoughts on that? Bosh, Love not being on the list and Bosh being where? 70s? 71.
Yeah, Bosh is high for me.
It's a little
and
too
if he's
high,
on the
man.
list, Kevin Love should probably be on the list if they're on the list. I don't think either one of them honestly should be on the list because they're both third best players. The difference is Love only won the one title, right? And then Bosh won 2. But yeah, as the third best player, I guess you look at it and go, if you're going to question James Worthy being on the list, well, now you can't question James Worthy being on the list if Bosh is on the list, right? So, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you. Love was a better statistical player than Bosh prior to, but not by much. Bosh
not by much, dude. Bosh was doing some things up in Canada.
Yeah, crazy numbers.
What if those are two great what if guys? What if they never did decide to join the super teams and get that one ring? What if they had just played it out in Toronto and in Minnesota and put up Karl Malone numbers for 20 years? I think they'd both be in the 40s or 50s.
You might be right. You really might be right about that.
Those guys were.
Would they be Anthony Davis? Would they be Anthony Davis?
They let 5 All-NBA, first-team All-NBAs go by the wayside to get that one ring. And I don't fault somebody putting winning over everything.
Kevin Love's way better.
I'd love to have seen it though.
Kevin Love's way better.
Let's pull it up.
Statistically, you're talking about?
Yeah.
You sure? Let's look this up.
Other than career points. Well, in championships and all-stars. Never mind.
Okay, can I not bring it up? It's close. Let's just say Cameron, that was a great observation, dude. Those guys had
better percentages. He has a lot of better percentages.
Very similar career path. All right, we're about to wind it down. I had Rick Barry and Allen Iverson pulled up because this isn't close.
No, agreed. Okay. We said that earlier. Yeah.
Okay. It's not close. Yeah. Combined All NBA and All ABA 9-3. That's first teams. All NBA, Rick Barry, even though he spent half his career in the ABA or a lot of his career in the ABA in his prime, still only one behind Iverson, 10-7 overall. Iverson did get an MVP. But Rick Barry has a finals MVP and a ring that Iverson doesn't have. I think they're really, really close. It's just Iverson was such a horrifically inefficient player. I mean, he's a picture of you miss every shot you don't take. 42.5 career, 31% from 3.
Awful. Yeah.
It's just really bad, man. And again, we talk about this on this channel, man. We try to, stay objective, but I love Allen So I mean, everything about Allen Iverson. I mean, not everything, but you get my point, right? Yeah, one of the toughest guys, pound for pound. Awesome as a teammate. Nobody you want to go to war with more than him. It just, again, let's call it like it is, man. The numbers don't lie. Words talk, numbers scream. And Iverson was not the most efficient cat out there. So 2
questions for you before we get out of here. Number 1, the gap between Bird and Magic on the top. And I will say this: I am surprised that Larry Bird has survived as high as he has survived. I really didn't think historically that he would do that. We've been over it ad nauseum how great he was, but should there be that big of a gap, knowing that they both have the same number of MVPs? Magic has 2 more titles. Like I always, and I think historically we would always envision them both basically back to back, right? So do you think there should be a gap there? That's question.
Magic is ahead of Bird. I did this hyper analysis. So you guys, if you're watching this and you like this video, you need to go back and watch the playlist. Can't remember what I named it, but me and a friend of mine, Chris McGill, examined and concluded by a deep statistical, analytical, and aggregate, and just we deep dived and did like maybe an 8-video series on the top 10 players of all time on paper. And Magic had a better career than Bird numbers wise.
But not by much, though, right?
But not by much. And so
Right.
they can be 1, 2, 3 apart, 4 and 8. I don't know if Bird should be behind Shaq and Duncan, it's just it's tough, man. It's tough. Because if you look at prime, just pure best 3-year stretch, Shaq and Bird are both better than Magic.
Well,
best 3-year stretch, Shaq and Bird are
5
both.
years. Bird's 5-year
But
prime.
so is Jokic.
But bro, Bird's 5-year prime is much better than LeBron's.
No doubt. I talked about it on the. I talked about that exact comparison is Bird and LeBron, and again, ultimately, I concluded LeBron is ahead of Bird, right, on my all-time list. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But and again, we never even talked about Kareem on this video. There's a very, very good argument that Kareem should be number 2.
Yep.
There's a very, very good argument that Kareem should be number 2 over LeBron, even after all the shit LeBron's done and continues to do. There's a very good argument. But you'll have to watch those other videos. We really get into it. I mean, we had an hour to talk about 100 players. We spent an hour talking about 2 players on some of those videos that we thought were good comparisons as far as who is better. And we talk about Curry. We talk about Kobe. We talk about Jokic. We talk about every single other player in that top 10. It's a great video playlist. Jonathan, I don't know if you saw every one of them, but you would definitely enjoy it. You'd probably be screaming at the screen at me or my friend Chris for sure, right? Because we're all opinionated, but it would be a good video series to go check out.
My last question.
Yeah,
I had one more.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard is 32 on the list. Now, granted, there's never been a guy ever historically who has his issues in the regular season because of injuries that you would rather have in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Than this guy with a discrepancy. But does that make him too high? Bill Walton's 55. Kawhi Leonard's 32. Now he's got some injuries and things like that. I don't know.
Add him to the list with Bill Russell and Rick Barry and Dennis Rodman as people that are just effing impossible to rank. It drives me crazy. I don't know what to do with Kawhi Leonard, dude, because some of it is just, what? Shit happens. It's bad luck, but some of it he brings on himself.
Yep.
And he's a strange bird, man. Some of it he brings on himself, and I don't know, man. He's on that list of people that I just do not like to rank. You know who else? We never mentioned his name. He's definitely a top 15 player of all time, and I don't like to talk about where he's ranked either. It's Kevin Durant.
13.
He's the biggest, boldest asterisk in the world, like the championships, man. And he screws up Steph Curry's legacy as well, because you got a half of the world out there saying those are not Steph Curry's rings if Kevin Durant doesn't come over, because Kevin Durant was the best player. Mm-hmm. And then you've got the other half of the world saying Kevin Durant doesn't belong in the top 15. He's only got 2 rings when he joined the greatest, dynasty of the modern era.
Also,
both of those guys, while they did team up to get those rings, they both tarnished each other's legacy to some extent, because the world does not agree on whose rings those 2 were, And
I think Durant, Cam was just fixing to say it, I think Durant's post-Warriors career has tarnished him more as well from a winning standpoint. To me, it's very similar to Scottie Pippen's post-Bulls career, right? Now, granted, Pippen was a little bit more on the way out. But it just went to prove that, if you thought Scottie Pippen was super, which he was significant, obviously, but if you thought he was kind of what with Jordan, well, that answered that question.
Yeah, that answered that question. But here's the other thing is, Durant's numbers aren't down.
No, I know.
That's what's great. His games played are down. His numbers are not down. Yeah. And so it just makes you wonder, does the guy really make his teammates better? That's something that, you could go through each one of these players in the top 100 and we'd each have an opinion on, but does this guy make his teammates better? And that's what made, that was the knock on Jordan for a damn near a full decade. He's the greatest scorer of all time. Can't win because he doesn't make his teammates better. Well, he figured that shit out. Maybe it was Tex Winter, maybe it was Phil, or maybe it just clicked for Jordan and he realized less is more. LeBron James kills his teammates' numbers. He punishes his teammates statistically, but you can't say that guy doesn't make his teams better. There's no doubt. Nobody in history like him. He does. Kareem, does what he does, so he's a little different. Magic is probably the face of, do you make your teammates better? Nash, Magic, Bird, Bill Russell, those kind of guys. Tim Duncan, right? How many points could Tim Duncan have averaged on, the 2025 Washington Wizards? Is he a 30 a game guy? Probably. Hell yeah, And that's the thing is there's going to be of this top 100. There's a lot of players where you can conclusively answer the question. The answer is absolutely not. He did not make his teams better, make his teammates better. Was he an epic legend? Yes. Allen Iverson, freaking legend. Vince Carter, legend. Dominique Wilkins, legend.
Yep.
But he's not making the game easier for
No.
his teammates that are on the floor.
No.
That doesn't mean they don't belong in the top 30, 40, 50, 100, but it's tough. We didn't talk about Chris Paul, another guy who makes everybody around him so much better, but and he was basically the result of bad luck that he does not have a ring, I think, or an MVP. He was really close to an MVP down here in New Orleans, man. Really, really damn close. There was an argument to be made. They just can't win enough games. But that's another guy that makes everybody around him so much better. He just doesn't have a ring to show for it.
I think you need, and you bringing up Durant, and we've talked about this. I think a future topic that we need to have on the show is who are the greatest plug-and-play players of all time.
Yeah, you and I had talked about this by text. Cam, who do you think? A guy that you could literally take and put him into any NBA roster. Tracy McGrady is a great one. Speaking of guys that don't make his teammates better, but were impossible to stop, Tracy McGrady is definitely on the list.
Lou Williams.
Pix and I were talking about it, and we're like, obviously Jordan, obviously, we were thinking not LeBron and not Doncic, because those guys, you want to put a particular type of personnel around them on the floor. But guys like Shaq, Kevin Durant, you plug them into any roster in the NBA, and you don't even have to give them instructions. They make that team better, right? They may not improve their teammates' statistics, but they make that team better no matter the system. It doesn't matter. Play fast, play slow, play through the post, play the perimeter, pace and space. What doesn't even matter. And it doesn't even really matter the era. They make every team better. There's a lot of guys like that out there that you don't have to cater to or arrange your personnel around in any particular way. You can just drop them in anywhere you want. That would be a good video. We did not talk about George Mikan.
And we won't.
Okay. He's the best player in the history of Minneapolis. Fair?
Sure.
He's better than Kevin Love?
Minneapolis. The city.
Well, okay.
Okay. Yes. I don't know. We'll talk about it for another day, right? When we're 20 years older. All right. Guys, thanks. We did it. Hour and 15. That's a monster. Great. We got some unbelievable stuff coming up on the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel. Stuff that these two people don't even know is happening in the background, behind the scenes. I can't wait to announce it. A lot of huge announcements coming up in the next 30 days, like shocking, big, sweeping changes, huge steps in the right direction for the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel. I thank all of you guys for watching. If you guys watch these videos where we do not talk about basketball cards, and you like these videos and you want to keep seeing them, and you don't mind this kind of nasty attitude that Cajun Jr. brings to these videos, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I need you to comment below, right? We need to know if you want to see more videos like this, so I give the people what they want. I want to make sure they get what they want. These are my favorite videos. I would much rather talk about this basketball than basketball cards, but I know a lot of the folks that watch the channel want to hear about cards and prices and how we're all getting, cardboard rich. So do those three things: subscribe, hit the like button, hit the bell icon for notifications, and please comment at how dumb you think we are for some of the observations we made, especially you Isaiah Thomas lovers and Draymond lovers. We need it, right? Bring it in, man. Fight for your folks. Thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace. There's the blurry pinky.